Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. This is an incredible moment for Southwest Louisiana and Imperial Pointe and all the investors. We've spent so much time getting this together, and this, of course, as you may or may not know, Imperial Pointe is a 75-acre master plan development. We've had every potential obstacle you can imagine. We've had hurricanes, we've had COVID, we've had all sorts of other issues, but we persevered, and I can only congratulate the team for doing this. But what I want to do is I want everyone to realize this is phase one of one building. So this is an independent living facility. What do we mean when we say an independent living facility? These are for patrons over the age of 62 who still are able to live independently. They don't have any cognitive issues. They don't need significant assistance with activities of daily living. And so this is really resort living for seniors. I mean, how can it get any better? Right? We've got a dining room right here to your side. We've got the club room here. We've got piano, billiards. We've got fitness. We have activities that are organized. We have incredible units. So I'd encourage everyone to go visit one of the model units in just a moment when we finish. And really, this is an incredible moment for us. This, right now, phase one has 129 units. About half of those are completed. And you'll notice that there's some dust around us. We're still doing a lot of cleaning and still doing some construction. Buildings 3 and 4. So we have 4 buildings. We're currently in building 2. Building 2 is the common area, has the amenities, has the offices, kitchen, and all these things that you see. Building 1 is simply units. And you'll also notice that their garages are connected. I think we have about 67 garages. So if you have a car, if you have your 67 Corvette and you still want to drive it, park it, you have a garage to park it. And then if you don't want a garage, certainly there's going to be plenty of parking. And if you don't drive it, that's even better, because I just signed the papers to have a Honda van delivered here. So we'll have a van that's going to be all designed to have the Villages of Imperial Pointe on it. And we'll take you wherever you need to go, if you need to go to the grocery store, etc. But remember, this is phase 1, 129 units. Phase 2 is going to be to the back. So we will wrap around the back, and we'll be talking about building phase 2 once we have about 90% occupancy here. And I think before tonight we had about 40% occupancy. After tonight we have 82% occupancy so far. I hope, Monique, you signed all those leases tonight? Yeah, you got those leases signed already. Good deal. So we're moving towards. So, real quickly, to the east of us will be the assisted living facility memory care. It'll be about 86 units. Okay, we're rapidly progressing through that. Next to that is what's called the active adult neighborhood, cottages, what we call estate homes, and villas. We'll be able to house there'll be 72 units there. So some of those units will be villas, they're quadruplexes. You're really, really neat little product. Right in front of you, this property that's owned by Christus. We're not sure what that's going to become, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be repurposed at some point. Right up in the front, we're going to have a hotel, probably 120 keys. We'll have mixed use on the bottom, and we'll have multifamily, probably 127 or so units on top of the mixed use. Very excited about that. We have connectability to the surgery center. So if you need your joint replacement, we'll be able to do your joint replacement across the street, and you'll be able to walk right into the multifamily or come back here if you need that. We also are in the process of designing a medically integrated wellness facility. So although you will have fitness facilities here, if you want a little bit more and maybe you want a lap pool, etc., you'll be able to go to the YMCA. So we're aggressively pursuing that. So I really think that we're going to have restaurants and coffee shops and all those sorts of things. We'll have 3 restaurants pending now. We may end up with more, but we're working very rapidly to have this done within the next, construction will be started for all those assets in the next year and a half or so. So none of this can happen without a great team. And so I've got a bunch of teams that I've worked with. I'm so happy that they're been part of this development and certainly part of this building. This building is phenomenal. Mark B. Casey, I don't think is here, but Mark B. Casey was the architect. And I knew this was going to be a special building, but I didn't realize it until about 24 hours ago when I walked in. I saw how beautiful it was. And they did a fantastic job with the architecture, with the furnishings, with the colors, all those sorts of things. I'm extremely proud of this building. And this is just, this is just one of the buildings we're going to have. They're all going to be this style. This would be considered a Class A building. So I'm going to move on now, and Paula, where's Paula? Paula, would you like to say a couple of words? If you can say a couple of words, and then I'll turn it over to, I wanted to introduce some of my team members.
Thank you, Dr. Noble. We appreciate your support of our organization. I'm Paula Ramsey with the Chamber Southwest, and Dr. Noble has been a member of our organization for many years with all of his different businesses. First start with the Center of Orthopedics and on and on. So we think this is an awesome addition to our community, and we can't wait for the finished product for success that we know he will have. He has the golden touch. Thank you, Dr. Noble.
Thank you, Paula. So I want to introduce, when you put together a project like this, there's a development team, there's a finance team, there's a construction team, and there's a management team. So I want to introduce, first of all, the finance team. Dave and Greg, raise your hands for me. They're with Twain Financial. They came from St. Louis, Missouri to be First Energy Bank was also another financing entity that we worked with. They did a fantastic job. I don't see Rahul. Don't know if he could be here today. Any word from Rahul? Couldn't make it tonight?
I'm making it tonight.
Nebraska. Okay. His wife has been wearing my wife out at Orange Theory here, so she's been exercising a little bit too much. So that's the financing team. So next I want to introduce the construction team. So if you're with hand construction, please raise your hand. No pun intended. So, all right. So Mark Ferguson and Adam Hubbard. Adam is actually kind of running hand construction, so he came down and where's Kyle? Right there. No, there's Kyle. There's Kyle. Kyle's basically taking over for his dad, Casey. They're doing a great job. They have an incredible reputation. They're based out of Shreveport, Louisiana, and we are so happy that we've been able to develop a relationship with them. And they are our contractor going forward on this campus. So all the big stuff that you're going to see, it's all going to be hand construction. And we got some other great things coming up, by the way. We'll have a couple of fantastic announcements in about a month or two. Right, Jay? Where's Jay Kumar? Jay Kumar's hiding back there. So we're going to have some other great announcements. And some of the guys with hand are going, what the hell are you talking about? So we got some other good stuff cooking with them too. So next is my development team. So Marie and Bobby, where are you guys? There they are, they're right here. Okay, so Bobby Hamlin, native of Alabama, don't hold it against him. He really has become a Tiger fan instead of a Nick Saban fan. He's been responsible. He's what would be called an owner's rep in the industry. He's the vice president of construction for Noble Development, but he has been involved with every detail you can imagine in this building. He knows this building up and down. He's looked at every blueprint. He's visited every unit. He's done a great job. And what should happen in an ideal world is that the owner's rep should work hand in hand with the construction company. That's exactly what he's done. So it's been a great relationship. There's Nick. Nick, how you doing, Nick? Yeah, I didn't see you earlier. So then we have Marie Jackson. And look, Marie fell in love with Lake Charles, Louisiana. So she's been living in Dallas for many years, and she became part of the development team, and she's my CFO. And she fell in love with Lake Charles so much that she moved here. So she is now a new resident of Lake Charles, Louisiana. How great is that, huh? And she's involved with 21-year-old daughter, Tiffany, who's here. All right, so there she is. So I'm going to introduce the management team. And after that, we're going to have a toast. I hope everybody has a glass of champagne if you care to buy. Will you bring the champagne in? And we got champagne. Look at all that. We're going to have to get some designated drivers to drive you guys home. So I want to introduce a very important person. His name is Greg Roderick, and Greg is the owner of Frontier Management. And Greg has been involved with senior living for 20 years. I'm sorry, since he was 20, 35 years. Now, he looks very young, right? Yeah, what I meant to say was, as a Freudian slip, he's been involved since he was 20. It's an incredible story. Greg and I have become very good friends. We're partners, and he's doing a fantastic job. And he's up to 100, so he's 130 senior living facilities right now that he manages. In the next 2 years, we'll be up to at least 145. That's without organic growth. And so I want Greg's team is extremely important to what we do. They're going to be the people who take care of the residents, who make sure that the residents, first of all, that will lease the space up, and then we're going to create an incredibly warm, safe environment that everybody's going to enjoy for many years to come. And I would like Greg to introduce his team. Without further ado, Greg Robert. You flew in from Dallas today.
Thank you very much. This is a real honor today, and it's really been meaningful to see such an outpouring of support for this property from the local community. You know, when we're planning an event like this, and thanks to Tori, she put off a great event today. I'd like to give Tori from Roaring Events a hand. I just want to say that, you know, when you're planning an event like this, you're thinking, oh, maybe 50 people will show up. Oh, I'm sorry. When you're planning an event like this, you sometimes think that maybe there's about 50 people that might show up. You guys came out big. It was beautiful tonight to meet so many great people who were so excited about quality senior living, and to meet some of the future residents who are going to be living here and enjoying this wonderful lifestyle. It's really meaningful for all of us to come out. My team, I'd like to introduce my team. Dr. Noble did a great job. I will tell you, meeting Dr. Noble's team has been a true blessing for us. We've really enjoyed it. And I got to tell you, when Bobby Hamlin says, I'll have that thing ready for you, we're like, no way.
It wasn't just Bobby.
I'll tell you, on Monday of this week, I made them FaceTime the building. I was like, oh boy, we got a lot of work to do. And they came through. I got to say, it's been so encouraging to see so much work done by this team, and what they pulled off is amazing. My team, I've got Candace Alcorn in the back there, and she's waving her hand. She's my chief clinical and chief operations officer. She's a registered nurse who also runs our operations. I've got Kathy Swan over here. Kathy is our chief marketing officer. She works with all of our salespeople to make sure that she trains them on how to love people in and how to take great care of them. I've got Haley. Where's Haley? Haley is, there she is. Haley's in the back there. She's our chief people officer. She makes sure that our teams are motivated and feel great and confident and trained really well. And that's really important to us. You've already met Tori with Roaring Events. She handles all of our event planning. And Monique, who's our executive director, who's going to be running this community with extremely high standards. She's come from another one of our properties in Texas, moved here, and she's real excited. So we feel very honored, very blessed to bring this team to you, and we can't wait to make many memories over a lot of years to come. Thank you.
Greg, thank you so much. I mean, here's my favorite part of the night is to have a little toast. So hey, let's everybody grab a little bubbly. Who has bubbly? Who doesn't have bubbly? If you need bubbly, raise your hand. We're gonna get you fix you up. Nick, look, Nick's over there raising his hand. He needs a glass. There we go. He can drink out of the bottle. Look, I really have to commend the hand construction folks for the last 72 hours. I'm gonna tell you, I agree with Greg. I walked in here Saturday and I'm like, hey, no way. And I mean, to see what has happened in 72 hours is unbelievable. So thanks, Nick and the whole team. I know you guys worked very hard, and I know we're living in very difficult times. And guys, y'all don't understand how hard it is to do something right now. I think time's going to improve, but no one wants to work, and it's been very hard for them. And our supply chain has been extremely disrupted as a result of COVID and hurricanes and everything else. So we really worked through it, and gosh, we're almost there. So look, let's have a toast to the Villages of Imperial Pointe and lots of great living for all of our seniors who are here tonight. Hear, hear. Hear, hear, hear. Thank you for being here. Let's have a great time.